All right. Let's get it started. Well, as we like to say, hang on here. We like to say, hang on here. We like to say, let's kick it off.
Roll another blunt, man. These is good times.
Good times.
You full of shit, full of shit, full of shit, and you need to quit.
Okay, so
You full of shit, full of shit, full of shit, and you need to quit.
you guys know the subreddit GME meltdown, GameStop meltdown, and I had forgotten all about this. Let me go to old.
You promised me a threesome last week. Another girl, it's hard to find. What about what's her name? She changed her mind.
So
coming through, I can't get time alone with you. At least I had privacy, single and pole. With you, I can't even jack off no more.
Let's see here. New catalyst just dropped. I've noticed today, as I've scrolled Reddit, the apes are getting bashed hard in other subs way more than I've previously seen. That's all.
You got a real bad temper. I got another
Weird how Ryan Cohen hasn't tweeted condolences.
You're too controlling. My chin is something you shouldn't be holding. You need to tuck your tail. You're a
raising the amount of authorized shares to 1 billion for a stock split. Only using 300 million of it for the stock split. Love it. Song kicked, yes. This is just pure gold. Stupid stock. We need a DRS to reduce liquidity and own the hedges. Also, super stunk. No! Why is the stock so illiquid? Crime. Moved down 3.8% on 5,042 shares. It's a comedy, really. I mean, it is. I love it. Well, we'll get to that one. We'll get to that one. Wake up, people, sheeple. Ken Griffin is the CEO, or Caesar, of the actual Roman Empire. Ryan Cohen appreciation thread. In light of the ongoing smear campaign, I would like to state that Ryan Cohen has my full support. Keep doing your thing, bro. Apes got your back.
Don't provoke me. I might
yes.
Thee. Roll thee up and smoke thee. You're so annoying. My career.
What will happen to the price when GameStop announces merger with Bed Bath & Beyond? I will tell you, the price will tank with GameStop. Short hedge funds will take any opportunity to tank the price without SEC investigation. Earnings reports are a perfect time to do so. Why do you think GME tanks after every earning? Media will say, too bad companies will merge. Outlook terrible. As highly regarded apes, your job is to hold or buy. I can't wait for it to dip, actually. It shows how desperate they are to drop the price so much before delivering the FTDs in the next 2 weeks. Wonderful. Dip is usually after earnings call. Why are they dipping it now? What are they scared of tomorrow? And then I pulled, bam, 68 millions. Haha, the only stock you are not selling is GameStop. You're not going to sell GameStop, right? Okay, so we got this one. Where is it? Here it is. I haven't watched this yet, so I'm actually a little bit, I don't know. Okay, here we go. Make sure that, come on now, don't be stupid. Okay. Let's do this. And turn it up. Okay. Oh my.
Why?
Okay, let me go back.
What did you say? What did you say?
Moass is coming.
Why?
Because they're liquidating like crazy.
So why are you getting emotional about it?
Because it's gonna change our life.
So Moass is coming. You're pretty confident?
Look at the fucking banks. Look at what everyone's doing with big money. They're running like fucking pussies. They're running like chickens with their heads cut off. Oh, it's hilarious.
Oh boy. Is that real? Is that actually real? Oh my god. I have to watch that again.
What did you say?
Moass is coming.
Why?
Because they're liquidating like crazy.
So why are you getting emotional about it?
Because it's gonna change our life.
Wow.
So Moass is coming. You're pretty confident?
Look at the fucking banks. Look at what everyone's doing with big money. They're running like fucking pussies. They're running like chickens with their heads cut off. Oh, it's hilarious. Oh.
Well, that's from months ago. Oh yeah, 8 months ago. But you know, it's still relevant because it's coming, it's still coming. So that's nice. We need to get these 21,000 shills on payroll over here onto this channel. That's the next goal. Oh look, it's shoot, Antoinette. Net profits is here. I just had a brain spaz. Yeah, too bad. Yeah, let's see if we can get an update video from her. This was posted on the AMC subreddit. I'm not even going to try to find that, but wow. Well, you know, if she was crying then, what is happening now? Okay, so now let's go to here. No. All right, this is a bit impromptu, so here we go. Here's Trey. AMC's price is broken. AMC's price is broken. Haven't watched this one yet either. It's a bit long, so probably gonna have to speed it up and skip sections, I guess. Maybe. Well, anyway, we'll just see. The price is broken though.
I've got a guest here today. It's Mr. Booksy. Has been talking about on YouTube for some time now, essentially an arbitrage, a difference in all-time highs and prices between Futu, Webull, HUD, TradingView, different brokerages are showing different price levels, and this is obviously problematic.
Who cares?
And I think that it's a good thing for him to have sort of a larger audience to speak on this with. So I guess I just wanted to be pretty straightforward and give him the opportunity to chat about his thought process here. So
Mr. Books, this is the link that's in the description of Trey's video. Mr. Books, oh, how the turntables, Goonies Never Say Die, revisiting the diamond, my anger, our charts, your choice. Yeah, I guess I did watch this. I don't remember that, though, to be honest. PSA, the AMC chart is not proportional yet. Dumb and Dumber, the first AMC Ape Friday. And, yeah, all these cutesy titles. So I guess that's who Trey has on his thing. Okay.
Mr. Booksy is here with us today. Thanks for your time, bro. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it, Trey. Yeah, so just really briefly, introduction. I've been doing TA on very quietly for AMC for about a year now. And
what about before
recently
that?
We had Ape introduced into the marketplace.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
As you all know, on August 22nd. And with that came chart shiftings. And chart shiftings obviously are something that your program, whatever it is, if it's TradingView, Webull, etc., what they're doing is they're shifting your chart to try to match up with the shift that occurred, right, when Ape was derived from AMC. Okay? So think about it like, if after August 21st or after August 22nd, AMC is now AMC minus Ape, then the rest of the chart should then be what? AMC minus Ape. You can think about it like percentages if you want. You can think about it like a multiplier, whatever you want to do. That should come from, normally in a stock, that should come from, if it's a derivative, you may not even see a shift, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but it should come from the cost basis, like what was taken out, right? If AMC was supposed to be, let's say 61% or 62%, right? Then Ape would be what? It'd be the opposite of that. It'd be like the 38 or 39%.
What?
Okay. That should be evident in the starting price that occurred on August 22nd. What we've seen, though, is that during that first week, which in and of itself was really frustrating, right? That whole first week, we were kind of patiently waiting to see if they were going to shift the charts. TradingView is one of the last ones to do the shift. Others like Webull, they did it on that Wednesday and that Thursday. And then we've got other folks like Robinhood, Futu, which is Mumu, that also shifted their charts. Great. So everybody was happy, right? But then when you start looking at how did they shift their charts, we started noticing that the chart shift values were all different. So not counting after hours, just looking at the chart shift values. Right now, TradingView is at 44.61. And I'm going to pull up some screenshots. Hopefully this works. Hang on a second.
And while you're pulling these up, can you explain why it's problematic that we have different all-time highs on each of these charts that you have? Like you have Momo at an all-time high, 45.01, Webull at 48.44, Hood at 46.
So you're complaining because Mumu and Webull have different prices shown? Okay.
15, TV at 46 or 44.61. It's a pretty big difference, but why is this problematic? Walk me through this.
Chart shift.
Well, just to put it really simply, right?
Chart shift.
In technical analysis, everything that you do, no matter what you do, everything is based on proportion. So when you are talking about anything, whether it's trend lines or fib levels, everything that you do is based on one price to another price. Okay, so if you're looking at, something like a trend line, all right, then this is essentially a proportion. And when you're looking at fib levels, you guys can see this rainbow colored stuff down here. Those are also based on proportion, because fibs are mathematical derivatives based on the golden ratio, all that jazz. You don't even have to know what it is to understand that if you have a different high,
boom, you don't have to know what it is to understand
you're gonna get different fib levels in between. So that's why it's super, super critical to understand that this really drastically changes how you interpret the present price action. Because the present price action on every chart is basically the same.
There you go.
So if you look at, let's say you looked at Webull, or you looked at Hood, or you looked at TradingView, you would see that, okay, ever since August 22nd.
Okay, let's pick the arguably worst three brokerages and split hairs about something that doesn't matter. I mean, Jesus Christ.
And this little pocket region I've got here, all of this chart action would be the same. However, if your chart has different shift values, then some of you are going to have trend lines where it's like, oh, look, it just broke beneath the trend. But other people, if they have a lower low here and a higher high, they may have a trend line that does something like this, right? It causes an inability, essentially, to have any confidence that you have the correct value. Normally, what these vendors do is they have a little fine print. It says, hey, because we're getting our
inability
stuff from
to have confidence that you have the correct value. No, I'm going to call bullshit on that. There are people who trade more profitably than either of these clowns, which is probably not hard, who don't even look at charts. Like, I mean, it's true. And we have some people like that in the channel. On the channel, in the chat right now. They trade better than these clowns, and they don't really use charts. Certainly not TA. So, inability to have confidence in that you have the correct values. It seems like, yeah, here's another excuse. Oh, this is why. Well, how much would it have changed your theory that this is going to $1 million? How much would that line, oh, this line should be here. It should be at a 60-degree angle instead of a 42-degree angle. What does that really change? You still think it's going to go past the damn line?
Chart vendors, because we're getting our information, there could be delays, there could be slight discrepancies. But the price is always supposed to represent, right, what's as close as possible to what's accurate. But the bigger issue here is that when you get to these shift values, what it's doing is it's retroactively changing. I don't know how better to describe this. It's basically changing the relationship between this whole area, everything that came before, and what's going on right now. And so that's a big deal. If everybody has a different interpretation of what's going on over here versus here, you can't rely on things like fibs. You can't rely on things like trend lines.
They don't have different interpretations. What are you talking about?
You're basically at the mercy of whatever program you've got.
Oh my God.
So I'm going to pull up.
You're at the mercy of whatever program you've got because you don't have the ability to cross-reference sources. You don't have the ability to look beyond one shitty Chinese brokerage firm. I mean, come on.
I got some screenshots here. I wanted to show you all the differences. So.
You know, just to add to this, I always see people say that technical analysis doesn't work on AMC, and
oh my God,
I would say that that's absolutely false. Except in this situation where there's not much consistency. This is probably one of those few times where I would talk to the crowd and say, well, while obviously technical analysis still does work, right? But when you have a discrepancy, you've got a larger margin of error, and probability is certainly a different game here. So predictability of AMC certainly seems to be an issue here. You know,
what?
And I would imagine actually that some of these big boys with large
you can tell Trey's feeling confident. He's wearing his Hugh Hefner shirt and gold chain.
of money, old money, algorithms, whoever it may be, could probably take advantage of arbitrage. Like, let's say, I'm just going to throw out a random number. This is hypothetical. Let's say that 70% of people who own AMC use TradingView to chart. And you know how fucking complex the freaking, my bad. I don't know if your kids are around. Sorry. I've got a bad habit of swearing.
It's okay.
My apologies. We know all these guys have freaking sentiment trackers and can track retail data and all the stuff that we're doing. So if they know, for example, that we're using TradingView and the all-time high is 44.61, they might base their algorithms, their entries, exits, scalping, this, that, the other on Webull or Moomoo or who knows what.
No.
Who knows what all-time high. They might take.
No fucking old money that uses algos, which I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about. But I can tell you right now, no old money uses fucking Webull. Okay? That's absurd. That is absurd. That's just so stupid. Yeah, it's consistently going down, you fuckhead, Trey. Right. They do not understand a moving 52-week high. I'm sure that they don't. Trey has to be broke. There's no way you grift $1 million and still on YouTube grifting. Yeah, why? I mean, obviously, he can't trade. He is still pushing this nonsense. Oh my God, this is so stupid. They don't know what arbitrage is. How is this affecting the all-time high? Yeah, it's not. It's not. These idiots bought for the Moass. Now they're complaining about a few dollars per share. Who cares about rounding errors? Yeah, you can round $9 to $10,000. That would be good. Oh, yeah.
Take advantage essentially of that arbitrage. So I don't know. This is certainly interesting.
What?
Go ahead.
It is, and it's a weird problem to have. I mentioned it to you earlier, but I've been trading for about 10 years. I've never seen anything like this not get fixed right away, and I've never seen them dig their heels in like this.
I would seriously question if
where
that's true.
Everybody kind of thinks they did it right. And so it's very strange. The only people that seem to be able to step in are people that feel unreachable right now. But yeah, I was just going to show you. So like, this is Webull. It's at 48.44, and you can see that's clearly different than
drastically. Yeah.
44. That's $4. That's not a small amount. The further you go from the source, right? The further you go from the August 22nd backwards. So the further you are away in value, the higher those multipliers are going to make your differences look, right? So they're going to make them look really different. Also 48.44. I think this is another one for Webull. Hang on. Let me see if I got another one.
Sure.
Right here. Oh yeah, those Thinkorswim. So Thinkorswim, they're not changing. And this is another thing that I was going to mention is that Thinkorswim still has the 7262, and TD Ameritrade, who owns Thinkorswim, and Fidelity both are saying that they're not going to do chart shift because it's not appropriate. What's weird to me is that when I'm doing stuff on, I said TradingView, I meant Fidelity. TradingView, when I'm doing stuff on TradingView, it seems like the chart shift makes some sense, you know, to some degree, but they're actually digging their heels in the other way. They're saying that there shouldn't even be a chart
though,
shift.
right? Not Fidelity. Did you mean Thinkorswim, I'm assuming, instead of Fidelity?
No, both. Like Thinkorswim and Fidelity.
Oh, I was just looking at your screenshot. I was going to say, I don't think that's Fidelity, but...
No, this is Thinkorswim.
Yeah, right.
They're opting not to do the shift at all, which means their chart obviously is going to look really different. It's going to have this really dramatic drop, which is, it is what it is. Let's see what else we have. So, oh yeah, we've got the, man, there's so many of them right now. I would show you this. It might be kind of, what is this one? Hood. Oh yeah, Hood. This doesn't have the numbers on it. Let's see here. All-time high.
What?
46.15.
We don't see Hood.
This is another one that's different.
What? Oh, because Trey's
So
covering
this
it up.
one, you have to read the top here. It says 46.15. So all of them decided to shift their charts. They're all using different formulas to figure that out. No one issued them like a consistent, here's the variable.
Wow.
And yeah, so they're all different. And I don't know, you know, arbitrage or not, it makes it impossible for there to be a consensus.
Makes it impossible.
Technical analysis and
what?
a big part of TA, and I talk about this a lot, is it's not crystal ball stuff. It's meant to be probability. And the more you can reduce things like luck, then the better off your probability is. If any kind of a lurking variable.
So the difference here between like $2, $3, whatever, $4, and a price that was from over a year ago, that is going to change the probability of this improbable event from happening. Like, seriously. What the hell?
That causes anything that can cause your charts to be a little out of whack, and where you happen to feel like, oh, I'm gonna get lucky. That's not good. That's bad. That's anti-statistical. Like, it's bad for statistics.
Okay,
so
this guy has the nerve to sit here and talk about anti-statistical. This whole thing is anti-evidence based. The whole thing is anti-logic. What are you talking about?
If you're looking at this and you have to wonder, like, well, am I using the right chart to get the right, key bounce level? And this is not a joke. Like, this is something that people set their buy and sell alerts on this stuff. People are looking at this. Yeah, and they're looking at this, and if it says like, "Oh, I'm hitting this fib level, I'm going to get out, or I'm going to get in," and so people are making trades based.
None of these goddamn, nobody's getting out. Nobody's getting out. What are you talking about? Nobody's selling. That's not in the instructions.
On this
buy
data,
and hold.
Whether or not a person believes that TA works or not, it doesn't matter. Like, a large percentage of the market trades this way. Like, they use technical analysis. So all of your swing traders are going to be trading based on these technicals, and they're all appearing differently. So it's a big deal. Yeah, no joke.
Dang.
Really?
Yep. Yeah. There's a lot more I could talk about. I don't really want to bore you, but
that's solid, man. I think the important thing is that people are just talking about it and have the conversation, and
yes.
I admittedly, you're the first guy that I've seen even bring this up. So that's freaking wicked, man. That's wicked.
Yeah.
And
well,
go ahead.
Yeah, just so you know, I've been trying to lobby on Twitter about it, but it's Twitter and it's hard to get people's attention. We've been trying to encourage people just to go directly to the SEC and email them. And, there's not much else I think you can do right now except just be noisy about it. I wish I had a magic bullet answer for y'all. I know we were talking about earlier, Trey, that one of the problems here is these are vendors, right? They get their information. If you ask Webull or if you ask Hood or you ask TV, you say, hey, where do you get it from? They're going to tell you this is where we get it from.
Yeah, right.
Right. And then you go to these people and you say, well, where do you get it from? Well, we get it directly from the exchange.
But if they're getting it directly from the New York Stock Exchange, then why is Reuters, CBOE, MUMU, and NASDAQ all different? That's fucked up.
Right. Why are the formulas different? So it's like, that's the thing that these are multiples, these weird numbers I've got, and they're just all different. And it's like, so somehow math.
No, it doesn't add up.
The math is not the same. It just and no one is admitting. I feel like there's going to be some pride stepped on here. Like, no one's admitting they're wrong and they don't want to be wrong.
Yeah, that's it.
I know.
It's crime,
so it's
bro.
Messed up.
Nah, we forget at our level, bro, that the big guys, the big boys at the top, they have ego and they have pride too. Probably more so than the average American. I'd imagine that these Wall Street guys have significantly more ego and pride than we do. I mean, you can see it in the nature. You look back on 2008. You look back on everything. I mean, these guys are full of ego, full of pride, full of I'd say ignorance, really, to the fact that they can potentially be wrong.
Wow!
It wouldn't surprise me if that was that simple.
What the fuck?
Is they just don't want to.
He's talking about. Is he talking about himself and the other grifters now, or what? Like, what? What the fuck? This is outrageous. Oh my God. All I know is AMC has only improved since we came in, so short price means nothing to me. My conviction in our win is impenetrable. Fuck the bullshit. If you know how, Plata or Plomo, I don't even know. This sounds to me of the most damning evidence that has ever been provided that seems to be 100% provable of complete market manipulation. This is why I agree with Badback that Trey should not be allowed to stream this nonsense. Unsubstantiated. He's not curious enough to actually look into anything. He didn't throw out one counter argument. What in the fuck? Yeah, Charles Payne would love to have this on his show, let me tell you. What about Weeble giving me my ape shares at $0 cost basis and keeping my AMC shares cost the same as it was before ape happened? Meanwhile, TD Ameritrade gave me my ape shares with a cost average while splitting my AMC cost average basically in half. One of these brokers must be pulling shenanigans, I swear. Diamond cojones. Good God. If there was ever a time to leverage your relationship with Adam, I'd say this qualifies. Perhaps you could send him a message from this dude. Perhaps you could send him a message? Send Adam a message, would you?
You know? Because what's the ramifications if they don't? Well, if they don't, I mean, obviously, so far, nothing has happened. And I think really the only way that something would is if there's friction, if there's bloodshed, you know? You got to piss these guys off. You got to hit them where it hurts. Otherwise, they just won't do anything. So I think you're spot on the money, bro. I think noise, it goes a lot farther than you think.
SFA Wrench is here?
Makes a big difference. You know, noise is what allowed for the
I didn't know she was
hearing,
here.
You know?
Who must be feeling better.
If people didn't speak out, so it's interesting.
Yep. And we've been plagued by so many issues, you know, over the last couple of years. And this is one that, in my opinion, it's pretty easy to say, look, something's wrong. It's just numbers, you know. So
yeah,
you can't hide these kind of numbers on these chart discrepancies. So it's really not something I don't think you could argue against. It's just a matter of getting it in front of the right eyes that can fix the problem, you know. And I just don't know who it is yet. I think it's got to be somebody up top because they're going right back to the exchanges.
Got to go to Gary.
And I haven't been able to find. DTCC has like a data division and they sell data, and they might be good people to reach out to if you guys want to try and lobby that direction. I've just been kind of emailing the SEC and these different vendors about it. So far, nothing really concrete, but
you know,
yeah.
I actually have I've got Dave Lauer's contact.
Oh, Dave
I might give him
Lauer.
a call and just ask him some questions.
Give him a buzz
about this entire situation. Are you down for that?
Yep.
You mind?
Yeah, man,
you mind waiting a sec?
Yeah, if he's available, that'd be awesome.
Wait, they're going to call Dave now?
Let me put you on mute for a second. Just give him a call if that's okay.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, appreciate it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Dave, it's Trey. What's up, man? What are you doing? I'm just about to eat some matzo balls. What can I do for you, Trey?
We are sorry.
You've been blocked. Wah, wah, wah. Oops.
No luck. Sent the voicemail. He's probably busy doing something.
That's okay. Well, if you happen to catch his ear sometime and you could talk to him about it, I guess if I were going to ask him, I would just ask him how this could happen and like where we would kind of go to. He might have a better idea of who we need to contact. You know what I mean?
No, that was exactly my thought process, man. My thought process is Dave's an incredibly intelligent guy. He knows pretty much everything there is to know about market mechanics and market structure. And if there's anybody who knows what the right path forward would be, I'd imagine it's him. So I'll shoot him a message or a call again later and see what I can fucking dig up or freaking. God dang it, dude. I'm sorry. I know people in chat keep telling me don't swear because I think you got your kids around or something. I apologize, man.
No. My son's at school, but
okay.
It's okay. Right. It's okay.
It's a bad habit, man. When I was in the army, we swore every other word, man. So it's just tough to break those habits.
Wait, is this the guy?
Yeah, no judgment.
Oh my God, is this the guy who was using a Heikin-Ashi chart on he was comparing AMC to Ape, and one of them was on Heikin-Ashi mode? I think it is. That must be the video that I watched a bit of before. Right? Yeah, it is. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but I do remember watching this video. I did it on a stream. And it was really stupid because he was looking at AMC on one side and Ape on the other side or something like that. And one of them was in Heikin-Ashi candle mode. So if people don't know what Heikin-Ashi candle mode is, I will show you. Actually, let's just look at it first. And isn't the best way to look at this both tickers together? I don't know why you would want to look at just one. This is the equity. Whatever. So let's go. But I probably have to just go to AMC if we want to look at last year, because the other one wasn't out yet. Okay. Okay. Get my. Let's see. Okay, so here we go. All right. So this has the high at 44.61. Okay, now if I come up to this candle mode selection here, we have, regular candles here, line area, but we have Heikin-Ashi. So when I put this on, you can see that the candles changed appearance quite a bit, and we're on a weekly chart here anyway, but whatever. So let me go back to regular mode. So there's regular, and particularly notice like we have green, green, red, green, red, 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 green, red, red, green, 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 red, 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 green, red, green. In Heikin-Ashi mode, we have very clear a bunch of green, a bunch of red, a bunch of green, a bunch of red, and so on. So what it's doing is it is using an average. So it still has 44.61 on here. It does still have 44.61. But that could be because we're in weekly mode. 44.61 still. Okay. We'll have to go back to that video and look. But basically what's happening here is, if you notice, the closing price for the day at market close, it's showing at 8.19. Okay. So let's go into the okay, so here's our closing candle at 3:45 that closed at 4. Okay, and if you look up here, it says closing C 8:21. 8:21. Well, over here it says 8:19. And the after hours closing price, it's showing at 8:25. So if we go back to regular candle mode, we can see that The closing candle here was actually, it says 820. Okay. And after hours being 823. Okay, indicated there. 823. Here it says 825, but it's also got 823. So what's happening is each of these candles is using an average of the previous candle, and it's actually a complicated formula, but here it is. So you get it here. So you just put in formula, but basically it changes the values in order to smooth them out. Here it is. Here's the formula. So it takes the opening. It takes 1/2 times the previous bar open price plus the previous bar close price. So that's like an average. And then the closing price is 1/4 times the current bar open, close, high, low. Okay, so that's the closing price. So again, it's an average. The high is the maximum of the current bar, open, high, or open, close, high, highest of any of these values. And the low is the minimum value of the current bar, open, close, low. It's the lowest of any of those values. So there is a lot of room in here for values to change from what they actually are. But the idea is, okay, and you see it more like on a lower time frame charts. Like, let's find a good example. So we're on regular candles. We switch to Heikin-Ashi, and it moves it over. But you can see how this is all smoothed out. You can see very clearly this is a downtrend. You can see this is an uptrend, and so forth. Going back to regular mode, and it's going to shift it again, which I hate. It gets rid of the mixed in red and green alternating candles. It takes the noise out, basically. It smooths it out. It's a smoothing type of formula. And that was clear here in this video, and this is where I stopped watching. I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me?
Numbers depending on who their broker is. In other
Okay, so we're looking at AMC here in this upper left quadrant, quadrant 2, if you will. It's regular candle mode. Then on the right side, we're looking at AMC plus APE. It's in regular candle mode. If you look at the bottom left, or quadrant 3, if you will, this is AMC, or APE, the APE ticker, and it is in Heikin-Ashi candle mode. So I don't know.
715.
I don't know why it is, but he's talking about closing prices, opening prices, and whatnot. And that's just, you can't do that. Heikin-Ashi is, if you want the actual values, you have to use regular candles. Use Heikin-Ashi, you're not going to get the actual values necessarily. You might, but you're not necessarily going to get them. So that was a problem for me. Tanko Native, hello sir, welcome. So that was my, I guess, introduction to this dude. Oh, I guess I commented on that. I moved between chart styles in this video as well as while doing TA. It has no bearing on what this video discusses. You are only calling your own intelligence into question. Yeah, I'll upvote that comment. I forgot I left that comment, actually. But yeah, imagine using Heikin Ashi candles, then complaining the values are different from other charts. Yeah. That's funny.
I am a pretty much a PG channel just because I live my life around a 6-year-old, so it's like just how.
Well, that's fucking stupid.
Now, but
that's fucking lame. Fuck you.
So we live in different lifestyles, you know.
Yep, it happens. All right, well, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. I don't want to take up more of your time today.
So now Trey's going to go up on his diatribe about this. I guess.
I can show you. Hang on.
I got it. Here's his Twitter if you guys want to check him out. At Mr. Booksy. If you'd like to check him out, his stuff's right there. That's a really cool thing, man. That's awesome. I'm glad that you
literally just like kind of copy and paste it and send an email. That'd
yeah,
be
that'll
really helpful.
work.
So just FYI.
Yeah, of course,
right
man.
at the top. So
hey, bro, let me tell you this.
Well,
personally,
simple.
Okay?
Look at the ones that he called out. Futu, shit brokerage. Webull, shit brokerage. Robinhood, whatever. TradingView, Wealth Simple. There isn't a single actual real brokerage on that fucking list. I mean, come on.
Yeah, of course,
right
man.
at the top.
Who fucking cares?
Keep doing what you're doing, man. Don't be discouraged. You're doing great work, and I'm thankful for you. So thank you.
Thanks.
Oh, thanks, Trey. Appreciate that.
I had a question for you.
Wait, oh, he got a hold of Davey.
Weeks, almost 3 weeks, actually.
Yeah, vacation, right?
Digging out.
Yeah, man. That's good. Well, I'm sorry to catch you at a bad time. Welcome back, man.
No worries. Thanks. Yeah. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I want to start off first by telling you I'm live on YouTube right now. I've got you on speaker. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Cool. I had a question for you. I figured you're
it sounded like he was really
the
sure.
smartest guy
All right.
in the room to talk to about this stuff. I was talking with a guy on Twitter. His handle is Mr. Booksy, and he was looking at the charts for AMC, and you sort of know how everything got kind of washed and weird after the ape dividend. Like it took a while for TradingView to adjust the chart. Some brokers didn't adjust the chart at all. So he looked into this, and there's a pretty large discrepancy in pricing and the way that the charts are lining up. And he sort of contacted some of these different brokers like Webull, Moomoo, TradingView, and asked where they're getting their information from to have such large discrepancies. Like, for example, they've got the all-time high for AMC on TradingView at like $44, but on Webull they had it at 48. And a $4 discrepancy seems like a pretty big deal, especially when you consider that
especially when you consider that the price is ultimately going to be $100,000. $4 makes a difference.
It's basically dependent on the fact that the information is all coherent and all lines up right, So I suppose my question, it's a two-parter, is in this scenario, why is this possible? And then I suppose the tag along would be, how can this get fixed?
It's a really good question.
I figured I have no idea, man, so.
It's very much not an easy one. Let me see what I can find real quick as I look through this.
Dr. Google.
So, first of all, what's important to understand is that all of these sort of values in these systems come from various data series, and then those data series have the raw numbers and then the adjusted numbers, right? And so the raw numbers is, okay, well, what was the actual price that it hit as a 52-week high? But the problem with raw numbers is certainly, when you have a split or a dividend, those things change what, you could call the effective value, right? Like,
sure.
You can't compare, a $44 high pre-dividend with, wherever it's trading $8 today, for obvious reasons, right? There's value that was pulled out, and
sure.
It didn't just disappear, and so that kind of comparison isn't right. So I can tell you, like, I'm looking real quick and at our data, and I see the 52-week range, the high, you're not going to like this, it's at 52.79. Which lines up with what Yahoo is showing. So right off the bat, I can tell you that the terminal and Yahoo agree. Now, that being said, I think...
So Dave Lauer's own terminal that he sells, by the way, doesn't agree with the other ones, but he's talking about a 52-week high. So what is Trey all giggly about?
That's an unadjusted number. If I look at Google, I see the 52-week high is 32.73. Well, that's the year actually. So that's probably not 52 weeks. So that's only this year. So sorry, that's not right. But let me see. So if I look at Google, I see the same thing. Like in September 2021, it traded at over a $52 handle. So, but I think these numbers are unadjusted, and I think that this is a really weird situation because normally a dividend has a very specific value.
Right.
Like it's a cents per share, and it's really easy to adjust your previous data off that fixed value. To tell you the truth, I'm not even sure exactly how you make this adjustment. Maybe you take the closing price of APE on the first day that it traded, or maybe you take the opening price.
Yeah, I'm thinking the latter. See, my sort of anticipation, what I'd imagine is whatever the value of APE was, let's say that it opened at $7, you take $7 off of AMC from share price, and that should give you really the adjusted 52-week high, right? 52-week high, 52-week low. You just adjust it based on literally that dollar sign. But here's the problem is the opening price has actually been adjusted as time has passed. So there seems to be something pretty weird on this. And the individual I spoke with, Mr. Booksy, he's on Twitter if you want to check him out. He's actually contacted these brokers, and they're all basically pointing fingers at each other and saying, my data's right. And every single one has different data. So
forget the brokers. Like, the brokers don't care. They're not investing in this. To them, the only thing that brokers care about are things that make you trade more. And so, if this is not going to make their customers trade more, they're not going to invest in it. So I don't think you're going to get good data on brokerage platforms. I mean, that's why we built the terminal.
Absolutely, yeah.
But this is this is a really interesting question. So let me come back to you on it.
Sure.
Because I'd like to see how our data providers code the adjustment factor for this. Because that's basically what you do is you get this raw data, and then you get a time series, which is an adjustment factor. And that's how you can do proper research, is you can understand what things we're trading at that time, in a point in time data, as well as what that is relative to the current time. And I'm kind of curious how this was handled. I hadn't thought about it before. And then, so let me come back to you, because I want to make sure we're adjusting our data correctly too.
Yeah. No, I figured you'd find this interesting. So I'm glad I'm not the only one who's kind of just fucking dumbfounded at how little sense this makes. I thought I was just stupid. So that's good to hear.
As usual, that's not the case.
Yeah, good stuff. I suppose the only question that I'd really like an answer to, if you can find it, and I'll look around too. So the only question I have is, how can we get it fixed? Because there is such a huge discrepancy that it almost feels like you could have arbitrage opportunities depending on where retail is paying the most attention, right? I mean, we know that big money sort of tracks retail sentiment and has data on all these different things. And let's just say hypothetically that, I don't know, the majority of retail uses TradingView just as an example, and it's completely different numbers than what's actually being used on Wall Street. Well, we can see how this is problematic. It's not really a good thing that we're not given the whole picture. So
Yeah, I think that's right. So yeah, let me take a look, and I'll come back to you as soon as I can.
All right, I appreciate your time, Dave. Thank you, man.
All right, sure thing, man. Take it easy.
You too. There's that.
There's that. So here's Thinkorswim. And 72.62 high June 2nd. So moral of the story, use a real brokerage, maybe. It's a good point, Manuel. Apes wanted their stupid dividend, and Aron gave it to them. Now apes don't know how to value ape or their shitty company. This is amazing. Do these guys not know? There are 7,499 other stocks on the market. Move on. Chuck, good point. Like I'm supposed to believe apes have limit orders set at specific fib levels, and this arbitrage is prohibiting their buy orders, right? You know, and Casey Shaw and others say don't use limit orders. So, okay, wow, that was not what I expected it to be. Okay, so AMC's price is broken. So this has the preferred equity opening at 695, and then 22nd, right? So then what does this have for high 44.61? So you had set up a little proportion there, a little expression to figure out with that proportionality what would have been then, which I guess would be this 44 whatever. This is AMC opened at, God damn it, 1133, right? So something like, oh God, it's been so long. You have 1133. Nice threes. Right, whatever. And then you have 695. So you figure out what ape would have been then, and then add that to the other one, this one 44 whatever, and it should come out to the actual all-time high. That's the way I would do it, which I'm not going to spend any more time on now. But or, you know, alternatively, look at a different chart. Okay, cool. AMC's price is broken. Gavinger.
What is going on, guys? Before we get into this video today, I just want to say, and I'm going to say it one time, and this is it. That shit with little puppet Zelensky of Ukraine shaking the bell to open up the New York Stock Exchange this morning. That shit's fucking strange and quite frankly just fucking weird. Like,
strange.
That's
and
all I'm
weird.
gonna say about it, but that shit's weird as fuck. Like, that's weird. That's It's fucking weird. That's weird. That's all I'm going to say about that. But anyways, looking at AMC and APE and the overall market, what do we see today? Well, we see the overall market, you know, it did its typical pump, right? But now we're back to selling, and not we, but Wall Street, right? At the end of the day, you guys need to remember Wall Street needs you guys to sell so that they can buy the dip and ride it up, because they know you're always going to buy back in, right? Your grandparents are always going to buy back in. So what they need is, when they do these little scary dips, they need you to sell so they can buy those shares, so they can buy that discount. And when you buy back in and the price rises, right, supply and demand, that's when Wall Street makes their money, because then the price goes up and then they sell their shares again, and it's just an ongoing thing that keeps on taking place, right? They need you to sell. Wall Street doesn't make money by them selling. They need you to sell. So just remember that. But overall, comparing AMC and APE to the overall market, sure, APE's in the green, AMC's in the red. APE's not even in the green that much. Like, what? It's a joke. It's 3 cents for being red. But even though AMC's in the red, it's holding itself up, respecting support lines, unlike the overall market, right? We see massive liquidation occurring in cryptocurrency and the big blue chip stocks, but like I said, AMC's red, but we know why it's red, right? They're doing their little price suppression bullshit. Look at APE. If supply and demand was a true thing for APE, which it should be, it's a T+0 stock, right? A preferred security. Somehow we have institutions purchasing 25 million shares. I can go on and purchase shares, yet there's still people all over the world who haven't even fucking got their APE units yet, which are owed to them. It's a failure. You can't failure to deliver a fucking dividend. Pay directly out from the fucking company. That's not how it works.
Yes, like, I was. God damn it.
It's that simple. There's no questioning. Oh, they have
Sorry. You can't generalize about foreign markets like that, because it's very case dependent. Depends on the country. Depends on the type of if you're trading a depository receipt, how those are set up, who issued those. It's more complicated than this. Of course, you can sit there and say, well, people haven't received them. You need a citation on that, and you need to read the fine print on that. That's one of those fine print things.
T+90. No, this is a dividend. You cannot failure to deliver a fucking dividend that was issued by the company directly to the shareholders who own the company. You don't get to just decide. That's not. It's a different thing to failure to deliver on options, right? Failure to deliver on those shares, but this is a direct unit that was given from the company to the shareholders. So there's a fucking problem that's taking place that, you know, I think the situation's going to work itself out, but there's lawsuits and shit that need to be fucking made. If you haven't gotten yours yet, take advantage of that. You know, this is something,
they'll take one look at the, you know, the terms and conditions, the fine print, and it'll go nowhere like the rest of the lawsuits have.
Really, robbery. We can prove, you know,
robbery.
Do we know there's synthetics and everything that exist in, you know, AMC? Sure, we do. Do we know that there's synthetics that exist in APE? Absolutely. There's a reason people didn't receive theirs, right? But
God damn,
this is the one thing, especially with APE, that we can prove is unlawful, right?
Oh, God.
You didn't get something that the company gave directly to.
Apparently, he's an expert on international security.
The middleman fucked up the transfer. So
who's the middleman again? Who's that middleman again? Oh yeah, it's computer share.
You didn't receive yours. I'd be fucking.
These are the people. God.
raising all hell on these motherfuckers. Either way, rather people want to admit it or not, and the news wants to fluff and throw fucking lipstick on these fucking hedge funds that are failing, I can tell you right now that liquidity is drying up. There's a reason stocks are liquidating. Sure, we can pump it up with the bullshit reverse repo loans every day of over $2 trillion that over 90 counterparties take every fucking day since last August. There's a reason we can't get inflation down, right? But let me tell you something right now. Liquidity's fucking drying up, okay? And going back to the beginning of the video about Zelensky ringing the New York Stock Exchange bell, I find it very odd that without taxpayers' permission, we paid him billions of fucking dollars in taxpayer dollars, yet now we have a guy that's getting involved with our stock market that we keep our fucking assets and where we make money. Like, it's just very fucking strange to me.
Chris,
shit's rolling.
Chris jumps in. I'm glad somebody jumped in on that. And bad back. Yeah, reverse repo. That's their money. That money belongs to. That's the Moass money. Damn
Shit's
it.
happening. Liquidity's drying up. Like, keep a fucking level head. We'll be back later with another video, but I just want to tell you right now, like, hedge funds are burning. They can fluff it up, but you have to remember the news fluffing it up. Remember who owns the news media? It's hedge funds. So don't get it twisted. But we'll be back later. Let me know in the comments what you thought about Ukraine ringing the bell. Here, maybe I'm just confused. I thought Ukraine was in this fucking war and missiles were getting launched everywhere, but we have time to fucking throw parties in Ukraine and time to fucking play around with the United States stock market. So I don't know what the fuck's going on anymore. But let me know what you think about that. But AMC APE, we're sitting pretty. Even if we're in the red or we close in the red compared to the overall market, we're fucking respecting our lines, respecting our trend. So all they can do is keep it where it's at. They can't fucking dive it down. If they could dive it down, they would have already. Where we are is where we are.
I love that logic. If they could do this, they would have done it already. That, my friend, is a straw man argument.
You just gotta fucking wait. So I'll see you guys later, and I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their day, and we'll be back later with a more intricate video of more details, if you will. So we'll see you guys later.
By the way, he made it on the grid. He made it. There he is, right there. Right above. Bullshit. Oh, I fucked up. I have to fix that. There he is, right next to Frankie Strike. Right underneath Jason Hunter, next to Shart the Vix and Roach Capital and Papa Tone. And that was weird as fuck. Well, so yeah, let's see here. Well, let's kick off Al. Let's do Al's little 5-minute thing.
Hey, Jeff from Boston. Let's kick it off.
Yeah.
All right. Today, AMC 8 closed out at $4.94. Post market, it became $5.03. I apologize. AMC itself closed out at $8.26. Not bad. We are very, very excited, I guess is the best way to put it.
Oh, it sounds like you are. Yeah, that sigh. That's what I do when I'm excited. Just like I cry when I realize I'm gonna be rich. Jesus Christ.
Thing. I'm really concerned about treachery. I'm keeping an eye on it. I'm really
I missed.
All right. Excited, I guess is the best way to put it, about this ape reg show thing. I'm really concerned about treachery. I'm keeping an eye on it. Guys, I just don't want you guys to get upset and don't freak out in case something happens and for some reason they come up with fake shares to close out ape with, or some kind of margin call happens and somehow they're able to make it. Just be advised. This is an interesting post I want to talk to you about. I want everyone who's listening who gives a shit about this play to see if your brokers will give you 606 and 607 data. All right. All it is is an email asking them to see where your trades are being executed, if you've made one recently or just in the past, just to see how they're doing their business, and see if you can get it on the phone and have them send it to you over the phone as you wait, so they don't have time to like fuck around and do some shady shit.
Oh my god!
Just a heads up on that, you guys. Just
these
if you could do that and send it to me over on Twitter, I would appreciate it. We'll put it up there and see what these guys are up to. I thought this was interesting.
He's on the AMC stocks plural subreddit. That's the well, yeah, it's the second rung.
Porsche's doing the IPO.
One.
I'm sorry, Volkswagen is doing the IPO for Porsche, and I don't know what's going to happen. I just thought Uncle Frank would like to see, and I thought it was pretty funny.
What did he say?
Put it up there and see what these guys are up to. I thought this was interesting. Porsche's doing the IPO. I'm sorry, Volkswagen is doing the IPO for Porsche, and I don't know what's going to happen. I just thought Uncle Frank would like to see, and I thought it was pretty funny.
Why is that
10
funny?
10 million ape shares. I'm sorry, yeah, ape shares that were used to short our stock today. Just absolutely disgusting treachery, and 10 million is just an egregious amount. I don't know where they're getting this from, but who knows? Probably naked short selling if I had
oh yeah, probably.
Just absolutely ape shares. I'm sorry,
shit.
I would like to see, and I thought it was pretty funny. There was 10 million ape shares. I'm sorry, yeah, ape shares that were used to short our stock today. Just absolutely disgusting treachery, and 10 million is just an egregious amount. I don't know where they're getting this from, but who knows?
An egregious amount. Well, just because the available amount goes down doesn't mean that they were borrowed or used to short. So, no. I mean, maybe, but not necessarily. Let's see what the, and I think actually Manny put one in too. But it's actually hard to get that, harder to get that over here than I would like it to be. I think this is the same data. So here's AMC. But we're looking for this one. So today it says borrowed change 1.23 million negative. So 2.96 returned, 1.73 borrowed, 10% short interest, down 45% in the last 7 days. Am I reading that right? So cost to borrow a whopping 11% per year on a $5 stock. So that's cool. I don't know if they think that they're being used to short AMC or APE, but they think that the single stock ETFs for AMC is a way for short sellers to offload their shorts, which makes absolutely no sense. But the Ortex guy says, Hedgie knows it's over. It's just not time yet. Yes, right? Okay. But, you know, this is IBKR, Interactive Brokers Datas. It's the same thing that's on the Stonko Tracker thing. The fees are all different than what's on Ortex. I'm not saying that Ortex is right or which one's right, but they've got a max of 27. This is saying, oh, this is rebate. Oh, fee right here. They say that today there were shares lent or available for lending at 54%. Maybe that just means that that was a posted percentage, but this is saying that the max was 27. Cost to borrow 11.24. 11.24 is nowhere to be found on here or anything close to it. The lowest is 18. So I don't know. Who knows? I don't know who runs Chart Exchange. I don't know who put this together. I don't know if it's the same people as Stonko Tracker or whatever. It says there's 3.4 million available. Well, this says utilization 100%. So who knows? At the end of the day,
probably naked short selling if I had to guess. And of course, discussing treachery.
Wait, what?
Shares that were used to short our stock today. Just absolutely disgusting treachery. And 10 million is just an egregious amount. I don't know where they're getting this from, but who knows? Probably naked short selling if I had to guess. And
well, if it was, they wouldn't be reflected in the amount available, because that's the whole point, is they're not borrowing them. So again, this guy is clueless. If I had to guess, and make a educated thesis about it, I would say that he's probably getting paid to do this by somebody. The level of misinformation and misinterpretation, and just he skims. He doesn't even read the stuff. It's so egregious. It's clear that he's not making an honest attempt. Probably getting paid. Don't know by who. Don't know if he is or not. That's speculation. But
and of course,
based on how bad these videos are, Jesus Christ.
Citadel was doing their regular bullshit with AMC regular. I'm sorry, just insane. 60 or almost 60% off exchange.
That's because you guys use Webull and Moomoo and Robinhood and other payment for order flow brokerages. So you can't bitch about off exchange, A, if you don't know what it means. B, if you use brokerages that go off exchange. I mean, how many times have we talked about this? It's ridiculous. Stop the count. Stop the count. Count the votes. Count the votes. That's what this is. It's idiocy.
In the dark pools. More bullshit. Makes me crazy. Yeah, that's about really it. Not a lot going on. I thought this was interesting.
Lynn, that sounds very Mr. Ballin of you. Sneak into the like button's bathroom, unscrew the shower head, and pack it with cherry Jello powder. Also, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. But I like that. Tell me that's what you were going for there.
Interesting though, and this is another thing you should keep an eye out. Your broker's canceling orders. All right.
What?
This is from this post right here. Brokers can just cancel sell orders to prevent price volatility and control the squeeze. We just need to be with the right broker and our own shares. Keep an eye on this. If you're still with those other brokers like TD and the ones that do business.
Oh, God. Okay. Senior manager, trading operations, email, Citadel security. Okay, this is from that lawsuit, the failed lawsuit about the GameStop thing, I believe. List the number of securities and ask Citadel Securities if it can confirm you're out on these. Citadel Securities confirmed that several of the orders were canceled. Canceled. Okay. Defendants' conspiratorial acts resulted in lockstep price movements. When retail investors were only permitted to sell positions. But the post said that can cancel sell orders. So I don't know if maybe this person wasn't around last January, but they restricted buying, not selling. So they still allowed you to sell. So, I mean, logic says that these orders that were canceled would probably be
Ken Griffin
to buy. But, I mean, because in the very next paragraph, it talks about being permitted to sell positions only. So, again, we have people who can't read. Yeah, maybe they need to subscribe to Mr. Books.
Be advised.
Although I don't know how much he
be
reads.
Advised that these potential orders can get parked or just flat out canceled.
Parked.
And never make it to the thing. Call that the spinning wheel of death, if you will, right? So keep an eye on that and just find out and see if your broker is doing shady shit like this. Like if your broker, like
like canceling buy orders when they restricted buying.
I said, if they're going to give you your 606, 607 data, we'll be able to determine if they're fucking around or not. But this is something they will do.
Not really. I don't really see how you could tell that from that. Okay. I wonder if Al has ever actually seen one. I wonder if he's ever actually seen one of those documents.
If you are with the wrong broker, there's a very high probability, and when this thing squeezes, you may not get a squeeze. And we tried to warn you. Everybody that knew better tried to warn you. There are shady characters. There's bad actors everywhere.
Oh, look at him setting up the possibility of blaming the apes for no squeeze. You catch that? If you're on the wrong brokerage, there might not be a squeeze.
And when this thing squeezes, you may not get a squeeze. And this is something they will do, and especially if you're at the wrong broker. If you are with the wrong broker, there's a very high probability, and when this thing squeezes, you may not get a squeeze.
When it squeezes, you may not get a squeeze if you're on the wrong brokerage. Okay. I mean, even if they restricted buying, you'd still be able to sell, except somebody interpreted this to mean that they canceled sell orders. This is out of control.
We tried to warn you. Everybody that knew better tried to warn you. There are shady characters. There's bad actors everywhere in this play. And when this thing squeezes...
Oh, we know that.
And you don't have the correct broker, and they start messing around on you, well, guess what? It's on you at that moment. That's all I got for you guys. Not a lot going on. I'm just not happy right now.
We can tell.
This 10 million share thing really pissed me off today. And I was just like, where the fuck are they getting all these shares from? And they have to be naked shorting this thing. There's no
they don't. Way. No, they don't. Like, I mean, this is AMC, but it will, will reflect the original distribution of the dividend. Institutions own about as much of this as retail does. They got it too. A lot of this is held in margin accounts by retail investors that are being lent out. Yes. So you don't know where they got it from. Like, what are you talking about? Then you don't understand how this shit works. Why are you making videos about it? Why are you putting this out talking about naked shorting when you have no evidence? You just have a lack of understanding. It's ridiculous. Absolutely absurd.
This could be the case. I just don't understand how else this could be happening. Hopefully most of us have gotten their dividends by now, and we're just holding on for dear life. And give it time. Let this thing process. Let's see what goes down. Also, we have Patrick Barnett coming on the 6th of October. We got him for, I think, 2 hours.
Great.
He's going to answer everything and anything relating to Adam Aron's, Ryan Cohen, GME, AMC, the whole kit and caboodle. We're going to have him for hopefully 2 hours, I hope. And then he's just going to rattle off his answers and go one by one. So I'm really excited about that, you guys. This is going to be the best one, I think, because we'll have those questions pre-October. We're just holding on. Also, we have Patrick Barnett coming on the 6th of
the Overstock CEO. Yes, of course.
October. And go one by one. So we'll have those questions and just kind of give his opinion on how this thing's going to go. And he is keeping an eye on Ape. I think we'll give him a debrief on that, and then we'll go from there. That's all I got. Quick, fast, easy.
He's keeping his eye on it, so we'll give him a debrief. I mean, this guy, I've never heard so much nonsense come out of somebody's mouth. It's absurd. It is absurd. Okay. I got time for like one or two more. So, oh yeah, right. Manny. Scott. Donnie George. Donnie G. And, because we didn't have, and not everybody might have been in here then, I'm going to go back to this one. This is from a few months ago, so it's not new, but this reflects I'm good.
What did you say?
Moass is coming.
Moass is coming.
Why?
Because they're liquidating like crazy.
So why are you getting emotional about it?
Because it's gonna change our life.
So Moass is coming. You're pretty confident?
Look at the fucking banks. Look at what everyone's doing with big money. They're running like fucking pussies. They're running like chickens with their heads cut off.
Their heads, plural.
It's hilarious.
This is not financial advice. This is not legal advice for entertainment and educational purposes only. And everything I say is my opinion. Please don't make any financial decision based on anything I say in these videos. That being said, hit the like button, subscribe button, all that YouTube algorithm stuff. So you get the videos as I put them out, see what I'm thinking, see how I'm analyzing the data. Like I tell every day, the data release is false. But they give us a full narrative of the market so we can make bad decisions, keep us off balance. Here's the thing. The shows have been attacking me all morning. You know.
She was crying because the squeeze was coming. Like, those were happy tears. I just want to make sure everybody's clear on that. So I would hate to get the update on that now, but anyway. All right. The Frankie's brother.
That's what they do. Them and their co-conspirators. And they're alleging that we don't know what shorting is. That after 2 years in this play, we don't know what they've been doing. We are not aware of their criminal behavior.
Whoa.
For the shows who think.
So they're alleging we don't know what shorting is. Okay. I mean, I would agree with that. But after 2 years, what about criminal activity?
We don't know what shorting is.
Okay.
That after 2 years in this play, we don't know what they've been doing. We
don't know what they've been doing. Okay.
Aware of their criminal behavior.
We're not aware of their criminal behavior. That's where it starts to go QAnon. Oh my God.
So for the shows who think that we don't know what shorting is, that I don't know what shorting is, let me give you my definition of shorting.
Oh, here we go. Oh, this is going to be great.
Okay, my interpretation of shorting. And first of all, shorting is unethical and it should be illegal. And even though naked shorting is illegal, they still do it anyway with no consequences.
This is what you're dealing with here. Short selling should be illegal. It's unethical. And even though naked short selling is illegal, they still do it with no consequences. Okay. Go on with your interpretation.
That's the first thing. And here's how shorting works. A bad actor, because that's what they are, they're bad actors. A bad actor goes to a broker and says, let me borrow 1 million shares of XYZ stock.
Okay, let me turn this around on you. Okay. A bad actor goes to the bank and says, let me borrow $400,000. Okay, let's just keep this analogy going.
Say at the time that they borrowed these shares, XYZ stock was selling at $10 a share.
At the time that they borrowed that 400 grand, the interest rate was whatever it was, 3%.
So what these bad actors do now, being that they have their hands on these 1 million shares, they sell them into the market. And what they do after they sell them into the market is when the shenanigans start. They start doing stuff in the back end and sometimes really, really aggressive.
I don't know. I'm just using the 400 grand to buy a house. So
to push down the price of the stock. Because what those bad actors want to do, they want the stock to go down to zero. Let me give you an example. If they bought
No. Like, where does this come from? This fucking overstock bullshit. They want the stock to go to zero. Well, that would be nice, I guess. But, I mean, so every stock that is shorted, which is pretty much all of them, to some degree, because people have different opinions on where stocks are going, just like they have different opinions on which team is going to win the championship, right? You place a bet on this team or that team, and people think you're crazy because you're rooting for the Browns, but whatever, we don't care. That's our team. Or, hypothetically, someone's team. Right? So, does it change the way that the other teams play because somebody is betting against or betting for another team? Does it change the way that Team X plays because somebody is betting on Team Y or betting against Team Y? No, it does not. And I mean, God, this is.
Yeah, and it was selling at $10. They bought a million shares. They borrowed 1 million shares. That's
and the notion that short sellers want every stock that they short to go to zero. There would be no companies left. There would be no companies left for anybody to trade. So that makes no sense. No sense. I don't know how anybody could have this
$10 million
understanding.
They sold into the market. If they can push it down to $5 through their manipulation with mass media, through their manipulation, sending out emails and whatever, like nothing is beneath them to do to push the price down. So if they can push the $10 stock down to $5, they buy them back at $5, they return them, and they made $5 million. But that's not really what they want. Because if they make $5 million on the play, they have to pay taxes on that $5 million. What they want to do is this. They want to borrow the stock when it's currently selling at $10, and then they want to push it down to zero. Because if they're able to push the stock down to zero and the company goes into bankruptcy, they keep the full $10 million, and on top of that, they don't pay 1 single cent of taxes on it. Okay? And
since when do these fucking gonuffs pay any fucking tax? I mean, let's be honest. What is? I mean, I'm exaggerating and whatever, but I mean, what?
You think the brokers are lending the shares they're long on? You think the hedge funds would lend the shares that they're long on? No. They lend the pension fund shares. They lend the retail investor shares. They lend the shares that we are long on. Because
you agreed to a margin account that allows them to do that. What is the problem here?
Only an idiot, only a person whose mind isn't working properly.
Oh my God.
Would lend their shares or lend their property to somebody whose intent is to destroy the value of their property. And that is what they do. They borrow the shares and then they go on a campaign to destroy the company so they can make money. They don't care about the employees of the company. They don't care about the shareholders. They don't care about anything but the bottom line, to make money. And if they can make money and not pay taxes, even better. But that's not enough for them. That's not enough for them. You know what they do after that? They start naked shorting. They start selling shares into the market that they don't have.
How? Have you seen that happen? Have you seen it? Do you have actual receipt? Do you have evidence? No, of course you don't. And by the way, the bet is with the broker, not the company. Not the company. So again, between me and my bookie betting against whoever, the Bengals, does that affect the Bengals? No. It affects me. It affects the person with whom I made the bet. Period.
They don't have. They just electronically put them in your account. You go on Robinhood, Webull, or some other platform, and you buy 100 shares of XYZ stock. They don't have the XYZ stock. They don't have it. But they send you an electronic share. But the share doesn't exist. And
they're all electronic.
That's why we have so many failure to delivers. Because they send you the share or the
fails to delivers are covered. all the time. Look at the damn chart and learn how to read it.
Of a share in your account, but there's no real share. So now that they don't have any real shares, they take these real shares and they're shorting them into the market. They're shorting shares that they don't have into the market. They're electronically sending you shares saying, okay, yes, you bought 100 shares of XYZ. Okay, in your account, it'll reflect that you have 100 shares of XYZ, but in reality, you have nothing. And being it was done across state lines because people are buying shares all over the place, it has now become, as far as I'm concerned, federal wire fraud. Wire fraud. And because they do this in cahoots with the
federal wire fraud, something that is literally written into the Federal Code of Federal Regulations, how this all works as far as the Securities Act and all that. It's federal law. Yet it's federal wire fraud. So that sounds like a problem. Maybe he should file another frivolous lawsuit.
The brokers with mass media, what they're doing is a RICO violation and a violation of United States of America monopoly laws, United States of America antitrust laws, and it's criminal. As far as I'm concerned, shorting itself should be illegal. We're not even talking about naked shorting. Shorting itself should be illegal because the only people that benefit from that is the criminals. They are not going to short shares they are long on. They only short our shares, and then they go on a campaign to destroy the company so they can make money. They don't care about the employees, like I said.
But, dude, okay, you own 95% of the float, right? You own 95% of the float. Retail investors do, supposedly, in your fantasy. Okay, you own practically all the shares, all the real shares. So why would you care if there's a negative media article on the Motley Fool or CNBC? You own 95% of the float. You all know it's FUD. So why? Who cares? Just ignore it, which is always kind of the best thing to do with most of those MSM stuff. But, I mean, it's just scapegoating, blaming someone else, coming up with any wild conspiracy theory. I mean, these people, he's a complete market conspiracist. He thinks that it's all fraudulent. He has no idea how it actually works. I mean, I'm going to do a video sometime or on a stream. We're going to talk about the limit order book and what it actually shows you. And beyond that, what actually makes the price move up or down. Because I don't think that most of these people understand that much right there. They don't understand that much. And what you usually hear is, oh, there's more buyers and sellers. Oh, there's more sellers and buyers. Not really. There's always a buyer for every seller. There's always a seller for every buyer. It is the aggressiveness of those buyers and sellers. And I'll tell you right now, these motherfuckers are not aggressive. They can't be. I don't think they can be. They're waiting for the price to go under $5 before they buy. They're setting limit orders. You know, they've been told not to use market orders. So we'll talk more about that, but it's aggressive orders that move the market. That's beyond, you know, anything, because he thinks that most of the shares are fake and everything else. But I mean, these people have never actually seen an auction, I guess. I don't know.
Said before, they don't care about the company. All they care about is how can they make some money. So all you shills who claim that we don't know what shorting is, we know exactly what you're doing. We've been in this place for 2 years, and we know how y'all get down. Anyway, hit the like button, subscribe button, all that YouTube algorithm stuff, and tell me what you think about these shills thinking that after 2 years in this play, we don't know what they're doing. We don't know what shorting is. We don't know what naked shorting is. Anyway, I appreciate y'all on this journey with me. God bless.
You just showed us that you don't. So, oh my God. All the real shares. Yeah, I'm glad you caught that. Wait till this guy discovers how the US dollar gets its value. Right. RICO violations. Manny, it has to go to 0 so it can run back up. Because greed is good. Janitorial product manufacturers. By the way, I checked into my General Mills we were talking about the other day. Yeah, no. No, it's not time yet. It's not time for General Mills yet. So, okay. I think I know what this 1.5 trillion margin call is about, maybe. But what's going on, guys?
Welcome back to another video. So what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So in this one, I have a lot of what's going on, guys? What's going on, guys? What's going on, guys? What's going on, guys? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So in this one, I have a lot of very interesting information to bring all of you guys here. We're going to be going over this 1.5 trillion.
Wow, that's a big number.
Margin calls that is going out now. These
large numbers,
right in line with everything that we've been talking
loud
about
noises
over the last week, with some very, very significant players in the energy markets over in the UK. Now, this is going to have a pretty significant effect on our US. We've been talking about over the last week with some very, very significant players in the energy markets over in the UK. Now, this is going to have a pretty significant effect on our US markets as well. And at the end of the day, what we really need to understand is what the effects of this could be. And at the end of the day, that's going to be more fears of a deeper recession.
Well, when you make, what was it? What did you guys say it was? $17 million a year extrapolated. Selling a moving average crossover strategy that you're supposed to, whatever, follow the algo bot on. Yeah, why wouldn't you? You know, stop by Dillard's, pick yourself up a few sport coats.
Going into these colder months. Now, we need to break down all this information, the key levels on the market, and kind of where we need to look for, for this information going forward to see how it is going to develop. So again, guys, before we get into all of that information here, make sure you guys go hit that like button down below if you guys have about with what's going on with this energy crisis that we've been talking a lot about. Europe power firms need 1.5 trillion euros in margin calls, Equinor says. Coming down a little bit further, European energy companies need at least 1.5 trillion in euros to cover the cost of their exposure to soaring gas prices, Norwegian energy group Equinor has estimated, and that does not include firms in Britain. Now, some of you guys might be thinking here, well, oil prices over the last year or so have been increasing significantly, and these are energy companies. How are they getting margin called on bets against a lot of these oil companies? Well, for those of you guys that don't know, since oil and energy, natural gas, a lot of these different commodities are extremely volatile, what these big oil and gas companies will do is they'll hedge themselves in the futures market. Now, if they have these long-term bets out there to kind of hedge their exposure to the wild fluctuations in oil prices,
is Dillard still around? I don't know.
In a very sticky situation, just like we're seeing here.
I mean, I could go back and say Parisian. I don't know. You guys remember Parisian? Used to go there all the time. Sears. Yeah. Hell. Okay, let's just go with Macy's. Or Goodwill.
Oil prices has very, very significantly increased.
Very.
Now, the other things that I really want to go over here is utilities often sell power in advance to secure a certain price, but must maintain a minimum margin deposit in case of default. That's exactly what we were talking about there. Now, this energy crisis is so significant right now with this whole situation between the EU, Russia, Ukraine, and the United States that we are seeing some very, very drastic measures taken by some of these different governments. And that's where we get into Italy right here. Italy is going to turn down winter heating to help cut gas consumption. Remember, in the video we talked about yesterday, we were going over how France was looking to basically decrease train travel to save on electricity, not only the power, but also the cost to their consumers. So what they're essentially going to do here, Italy plans to turn down the heating in homes and businesses over the winter to help cut the amount of gas it uses and reduce the risk linked to the total halt of Russian gas flows. Italy imported around 40% of its gas from Russia before the conflict in Ukraine began in February.
Connect it to AMC, please. Please. Can we just do that?
You read about it in the Wall Street Journal, it's already too late. If they are not ahead of this issue going into these colder months, it's going to be very, very hard to
very
less supply, oil prices are still going to maintain their high levels. Now, if you combine that with, well, the dollar is at 20-year highs, and you're also seeing people losing their jobs, inflation still persists, well, that creates a very significant problem in our overall market. Now, going back
not a
to
very,
again,
very significant one.
Situation with oil and this Russian price cap, the chances of a G7
oh,
price cap
zero
oil
hedge. Here we go. Libertarian economics.
Effective are perhaps best summed up by a recent tweet from a Bloomberg energy and commodities columnist. My friends and I have agreed to impose a price cap on our local pub's beer. Mind, we actually do not plan to drink any beer there. The pub's owner says he won't sell beer to anyone observing the cap. So other patrons who drink a lot there say they aren't joining the cap. Success. So it's really pretty useless, just like what we were saying previously. And then we move into what happened today. Russia has cut off gas supplies to Europe indefinitely. Here's what you need to know. Russia claims punitive economic sanctions imposed by the West are responsible for the indefinite halt to gas supplies via Europe's main pipeline. It represents the clearest indication yet that the Kremlin is seeking to force Europe to lift the economic measures in order for Moscow to turn the taps back on ahead of winter. So what it really all comes down to at the end of the day right now is a lot of people have been kind of floating around these statements that inflation is Russia's fault right now. Now, again, it's not Russia's fault at all. It's all the money printing that was going on over the last 2 years. But the situation that is going on with oil in relation to this Russia and Ukraine situation is not.
So I see he's a disciple of Friedman.
Not neutral. It's not helping these inflationary pressures on the overall market because of the things that we've talked about before. Oil is a very, very key component of a lot of different parts of the economy. And since it's so volatile and affects a lot of other things and CPI, well, that is going to be a consistent measure of driving inflation. So these are things that we need to look at, because if we start to see CPI not even coming down even anywhere near close to what the Fed needs in order to back off some of these interest rate hikes, well,
they're not backing off.
Raise interest rates. We're going to see unemployment start to go back up. The purchasing power
already are,
or the amount of disposable income that people are going to be able to spend in the economy is going to decrease. You're still going to have high oil.
That has bottomed out already. Like, what the fuck? Are you reading this shit in the fucking USA Today? Like, you are 6 months behind, kid.
Prices
Fuck me.
Create this cycle
this is
of
useless.
the Fed not really being able to do anything to help out a lot of what's going on in the economy right now. So, guys, that is going to wrap up this video. That was $1.5 trillion margin call. If you guys
what is the call to action here? There is nothing.
Make sure you go down and hit that like button.
There's
it costs
nothing
to do it,
that
it
you
really
can
helps us
do
out a whole lot
or
and
take from this video
to
that will help you in any way. That was useless. Oh my god. Holy shit. Okay. I do want to. I just want to see what's over here in Bed Bath & Beyond, because, you know, let's be honest. I mean, who's surprised by this shit? Honestly, like, who in the hell is surprised by this? Now, I'll give Antoinette credit, and I hope she did it. The puts. I was skeptical the first time. I was skeptical again. Not because I didn't think it would go down. I thought there might have been a bounce. There still could be. But that's why, you know, you want to always be closing. I got to start taking my own advice on that. Oh, yeah. So, wow. Also, GameStop earnings tomorrow, right? Is that tomorrow? I want to say it is. We're going to do a special GME Safe Space stream tomorrow evening, probably, depending on my schedule, to help those guys out a little bit. Oh, it's on the look. It's on the threshold security list. That worked so well last time. Scavenger's doing $100 giveaways, and he has a Discord where you can learn how to trade like him. Short squeeze channel. Still no ape for international AMC holders. So maybe you need to consider the fact that you don't understand how it works. I don't know. Crazy. All right. Well, I think it's fitting to end with Jason, Jeremy, John, Jeff, whatever.
Hey guys, it's
Hunter.
Jackson Hunter. Welcome
Jack,
back to
that's
another
right.
AMC stock update. Today is Tuesday, September 6th. The stonk market is open yet again. Please hit the like button. Please smash that subscribe button. I love and appreciate you all. AMC stock on the day, another red day, down 7.77%, ending the regular trading hours at $8.19 per share on a volume of 20 million. As for AMC preferred equity unit, it ended the day down 1.01% at $4.92 per equity unit on a volume of 8 million. Very low volume for each of the securities. GME was also down 8%.
So one might say that there's not much security in those securities. GameStop had 7 million volume today. And the average is 5. I'm just throwing that out there. AMC, because I can't, 20 million. And APE, 8 billion. So well below average on that one. APE does not pay dividends. Now, what they need to do is get Adam Aron to pay a dividend on APE. It's a reflexive dividend, a dividend on a dividend. They should do that. That would cause it. Who is running Bed Bath without the CEO, CFO, and COO? The towel stock. That's what they call it on Wall Street Bets. The towel stock. Also, this is pretty good too. So this is Bed Bath and Beyond. So these are the Wall Street Bets rules. No pump and dumps, short squeezes, or scams. No non-reporting penny, microcap, less than 500 million market cap. And they call this the final countdown. Bed Bath & Beyond's market cap, 556 million. So it's getting there. Pretty soon it'll be banned from Wall Street Bets. 562.
If you look at SPY was down 0.38%. This looks like a bear flag. If you look at it on the 5-day, down 3%. On the month, down 5%. Year to date, down 18.2%. So it's still inside of that downward channel. And it could be more red to come.
Are you kidding?
It also could play out inverse head and shoulders, but it would have to stop somewhere around where it's at right now, actually 389 in that vicinity to make
How in the fuck are you getting that off this?
Shoulder, head down here at 366, and then right shoulder. But it could just continue down 300, 200. I have no idea, because this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Please do not make investments based on what I say
in my video.
In my content. This is the 15-minute chart for today. So it gapped down from 886 to 868.
I love the play-by-play
consolidation, then more downtrend on negative volume or red volume. Okay, check this out. If you want to get up to 13 free stocks, wonderful deal. This promo ends September 15th. Click the link.
But in full disclosure, we have to say the charts aren't right. The chart shift is wrong on Moo. Just full disclosure.
Link in my description below. It's through Moo. Wonderful broker, does not engage in payment for order flow. This broker is growing even faster than I thought it was. So if you guys want to get free stocks, open a brokerage account.
No,
you
don't.
Can deposit 100 now if you like order flow. Check out these tweets from Adam Aron. Good guy right here. Awesome guy. Awesome businessman.
Oh yeah, great guy.
So he is reposting memes that were on his Twitter feed, I guess. He goes, why I read my Twitter feed personally and do not delegate.
Yeah, slow movie quarter. Let's post some memes.
I gave that duty to a staffer. It took a year plus, but I just saw perhaps the funniest meme ever. It'll be hard for even the cleverest of you to come up with something funnier than this one. Hilarious.
Well, they, they believe in the cycle theory nonsense. So, things are going to repeat themselves exactly, as they did before.
Yes, he posted this.
Wow, that's annoying.
After I think it was like an hour later, he posted this one. Well, I guess I spoke too soon about funny memes. They're now pouring in. This is one of several great.
What the hell?
I'm gonna go off on a limb here that's us. He's holding the retail investor. So let's see what happens, man. I have patience in this trade. I trust Adam Aron. I think SPY is the share count. We'll see if that's the case, man. Who knows? But and he tweeted about Avatar 2. Case, man. Who knows? And I think SPY is the share count.
SPY is the share count? What does that mean? Can somebody
see
interpret
if that's the case, man. Who knows? But and he tweeted about Avatar 2,
SPY
which is surely
is the
going
share
to break
count?
box office records. If you want to see the borrow rate, this is the short borrow free rate. Remember this graph? We haven't looked at it in a long time, but it's at 23.6%. That is a yearly rate. So nothing crazy, but it has been increasing in recent times. And this is taken from Interactive Brokers' data. Okay, so pretty interesting right there. If you take a look at Apes was...
You know, it's funny, they use that data from Interactive Brokers. I don't think one of these people have an actual account at Interactive Brokers. I don't think... I've never seen any of them use it. Never. Not once. Just interesting.
Pretty high, but it went down. Yes, I was correct. So 54%
you were right
yesterday
again.
to 45 to 28 to 16%.
I mean, you're talking pennies
But
on the
that
fucking dollar. That shit
4%
makes no
is pretty
difference.
high. I like to see that higher, but in all honesty, I just care about a squeeze on one of the two, AMC or Ape.
Remember last time he was saying, I don't care about anything except the price. None of these stupid catalysts.
Or both. That'd be awesome too. But I love you guys so much. I'll see you for tomorrow's update. Peace.
Right. Okay. I know the song just repeated. There's a lot of bad, terrible shit here. So, I mean, I'm not even going to get to lottery stocks, the depression squeeze. I'm curious enough to do that.
Oh God, where do I start? Bank of America is launching a zero down payment, zero closing cost mortgage.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Eligibility is based on income and home location. No minimum credit score or mortgage insurance is required.
Oh my God.
The U.S. subprime mortgage crisis was a multinational financial crisis that occurred between 2007 and
Not the same. You're not old enough to even buy a house. So what are you talking about?
leading to mortgage delinquencies, foreclosures, and the
All right, I just want to hear your opinion.
Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and get
no.
Declined steeply after peaking in mid-2006. It became more difficult for borrowers to refinance their loans as adjustable rate mortgages began to reset at higher interest rates, causing higher monthly payments. Mortgage delinquencies soared. The crisis had severe, long-lasting
Yeah, we know all about
for the
this.
US
Unlike
and
you, we were actually
system going on right now. It is
tax-paying adults then.
getting interesting. Whether this is going to turn in a recession, a depression, a market crash, whatever it may be, shit is starting to rhyme. History is starting to rhyme. Now I want to go over a few.
Oh, interesting way of putting it. Okay.
Things. So we talked about
threshold list. Don't matter.
On the NYS.
Doesn't matter. I mean, these are all people obviously who weren't around last year when this all happened, and you know, yeah, history rhymes. I mean, in this case, maybe you could even say it repeats.
Hopefully we can get, some sort of share recount. He said, I predicted.
No, you're not going to get a share recount. That's why you got your stupid dividend.
Collective West lifts sanctions against Moscow.
Oh, bullish on AMC.
No games.
Bullish on AMC.
To borrow fee for.
Bullish on AMC.
To say the least.
Yeah.
Way this would be beneficial towards the other side and not us is if Ape went bankrupt. So if this is their plan to borrow.
Yeah, that's the plan. You got it. Oh, we already looked at that.
Well, for the GameStop numbers, 200.
Oh, we got to hear the GameStop numbers.
Borrow and much of
that's going to be the theme tomorrow. From one shit company to the next.
AMC as well. For the GameStop numbers, 250,000 shares available to borrow. The fee is only 11% for some reason. There was something that got reset in GameStop. It's clear as day. GameStop was on its move. It was flying. It was 54% shares DRS. There was no shares available to borrow for a while. Cost to borrow was getting as high as 300%. Overall, something happened. Something reset in GameStop. Now, I wanted to touch on technicals real quick before we close out the video. If you haven't yet, please consider smashing that like button. But the SPY touched 390 about 4 times, and I'm waiting for it to just break under this level. It is respecting this median trend line, and as long as we respect it, I guess we're hanging out good. But as soon as we don't respect it, you have a heavy room to fall, and it's lining up right with the previous lows if we did start to break below this line. So I do want to prepare you, if the SPY does go red, if the SPY does dump, be extremely careful, especially with what's
we got it. Thanks.
The bear market for a little while until maybe mid-September, which hopefully the 75-point basis hike comes out at 75 points and we get a rip to the upside. This is something I've been waiting for, and this is something I will be waiting for.
What the fuck are you? Okay, I'm going to go back just a little bit.
That's going to just enter us in the bear market for a little while until maybe mid-September, which hopefully the 75-point basis hike comes out at 75 points and we get a rip to the upside. This is something I've been waiting for, and this is something I will be waiting for on the S&P 500, right? If you do get a pop, I think you're going to get rejected at 397 again. I don't see the SPY breaking over 397 until those interest rate hike numbers do come out. We can touch on AMC and GameStop real quick.
Why?
I deleted all my drawings earlier in the live stream, so it would be more simple. But essentially, we are a few weeks away from late September's point of interest where I do think AMC will rip and get a rally up. Now, if AMC does sell off again, I want you to watch the drop too. But you are.
I mean, this is the one who said he said history rhymes. Things are starting to rhyme.
GameStop. But overall, guys, I really hope you enjoyed the DDI.
Well,
but a
it
lot
was
of things
bullish,
are just
so I
getting
mean,
more and
people
more
enjoyed it.
stressful. I feel like
Sure.
my brain is.
I mean, why you have to hope? But here's something that I found that was interesting. So this is from the Economic Times, India Times, from a couple years ago. But I'm going to skip down to. Our article is called "Does History Repeat or Rhyme in Financial Markets?" Okay, and let's come down here. The boom-bust cycle. So it says financial history is replete with boom-bust cycles, and repetition of these cycles makes one believe that history repeats itself. However, in each of the cases, the underlying theme, financial asset participants and events, are different than what causes the recurrence. So here's 3 quotes. In reading the history of nations, we find that, like individuals, they have their whims and their peculiarities. Their seasons of excitement and recklessness when they care not what they do. That millions of people become simultaneously impressed with one delusion and run after it, till their attention is caught by some new folly more captivating than the first. From Extraordinary Popular Delusions and the Madness of Crowds by Charles Mackay, 1841. Quote, Wall Street never changes. The pockets change, the suckers change, the stocks change, but Wall Street never changes because human nature never changes. Jesse Livermore, early 1900s. Quote, but financial crises follow a rhythm of boom and bust through the ages. Countries, institutions, and financial instruments may change across time, but human nature does not. This time is different. By Reinhardt and Rogoff, published in 2009. So 1841, 1900, 2009, same basic statement. Financial markets are primarily investor behavior cycles. Human nature doesn't change and causes the recurrence of past patterns. While economic and business cycles also play a role in the market movement, for sure, it is the investor behavior that A, exaggerates the market movement on either side by adding overreaction, and B, influences to some extent the future course of business cycle in the direction of its bias. Reflexivity, that's a George Soros thing. So we can see this. It's not hard to apply this to the situation we're in now, right? Last year was overreaction, right, to the bullish side. Some more than others, but in general, all-time highs. So that was investor behavior influencing that. And then also the future course of the business cycle, i.e. what we're dealing with right now, tightening, right? That is a direct, in some way, and maybe more than a small way, a reaction to what the overreaction was in the markets before, based on, the overall monetary policy, but still that influenced the investor behavior, which then influenced the markets, and that influences where things go as a result. So to close it out, understanding investor behavior and its divergences from rationality, hence become extremely important for success in investing. And understanding the crowd psychology enables an intelligent investor to benefit from it. So, point here being that it's human nature. It's that that concept, investor behavior. That is the cycle. That is the cycle theory. It's not the chart. It's not. In order for this thing to repeat, everybody would have to do exactly what they did 1 year ago. That's not going to happen. 1 year ago was different than now, we can say, right? So it's not going to happen that way. It's just not going to happen that way. Human nature doesn't change, so we see some of the same things try to happen, right, over the last couple of months with this resurgence of the meme stocks, whatever they want to call it. But, we know how it ended, and it was less intense than before, and yada, yada, yada. We know all that. So, it's not, it's just not prudent to say that things are just going to repeat, or, it's going to massively rip to the upside. Something has to cause that. Investor behavior has to cause that. And, when you got, more people buying puts in the market, that's not what they were doing last year. Let me just say that. That's not what they were doing last year. So, mass psychosis. I was reading about the Havana syndrome the other day, and, there might be some comparisons there, although I don't know. But, yeah, there's some kind of mass delusion. I'm not sure. But, it's certainly, and maybe it was a little different because of the pandemic and whatever else. It was a very unique set of circumstances that allowed it to happen. We've been over that. So we'll talk more about that, and we'll talk about the limit order book and, how the market determines price and all that stuff next time or one time. But, all right. Well, it's after midnight here, so I'm going to just, let's see here. I'm just going to give you this much here to close it out. Lynn, it's so nice to see you in there, okay? I hope that you're not suffering from mass psychosis, although I don't know how that's possible. Anyway, hope you're doing all right. I'll catch you in Telegram. Chris, see you. Manuel, thanks for your contributions. Model 3 Dude and Bad Back, the sarcastic contributors. Appreciate that. And Antoinette was around somewhere. Net Profits. She's here. She's probably going over her trades for tomorrow. And I'm not sure who else. But anyway, have a good one. Catch you later. Probably, well, I'll tell you what, maybe tomorrow because of the GameStop earnings. All right, see ya.